Shenandoah National Park, and this is the northern entrance at Footbridge, Virginia. This is mile marker 0. Here's my little red car, and we're going to hike a mile or so up this Dickey Ridge trail and see if we can find the ruins of the Old Belmont Vineyard. The elevation here is 625 feet. Half a mile into my hike, 720 feet here. It's been fairly flat. Getting ready to cross over this feeder stream, and as soon as I do that, I'm going to start looking up here in these hills for some evidence of the road that went up to the Belmont plantation and vineyard. I don't know where it is, and I'm sure the Park Service has tried to eradicate it as much as possible. But so I'm going to wander around a little bit, see if I can find it. Okay, you see that big rock there? That big rock is sitting in the middle of what looks to me like an old road. Down there, maybe you can barely see it, is the footbridge. And if you come across that footbridge and pretty much just keep coming straight up here, you'll see this. It'll be very hard to find it in the summer though. But they put that big rock there to block this road off. And so I'm going to follow this on up a ways. This is definitely some sort of an old road. So, and it's in the right spot, so let's follow it and see where we end up. Well, I'm just up the road a little ways. Over there, Skyline Drive. Maybe you can see it. It's that line over there in the middle of the screen. And down there is Dickey Ridge Trail. And there's where I came from. Man, I'll tell you what, you need a machete to get up here. I don't know if I'm going to make it to the top or not, but we're going to keep on. I'll keep pushing my way through this nonsense. Well, there's an indication of how long this road's been closed off. Look at that tree. Right in the middle of the road. Excuse me, 9/10 of a mile into my hike. I'm up to 870 elevation. There's where I came from. I got about another 1/10 of a mile to where the map said the old plantation was. So I got to keep hacking my way up in this direction. Now, one thing I just noticed is that maybe if you look right there, you can see some people have been going up the side of the hill there. Now, I'm tempted to go up there on that ridge a little ways and maybe go up this way, because man, this is some of the toughest hiking ever. I mean, you almost need a machete to get your way through this, except I don't think the Park Service would appreciate that. So I don't know. I may climb up here and take a look. .1 miles into my hike, I'm up to a 967, almost 1,000 feet. Now my GPS, according to the 1930s map, I'm still about 1/10 of a mile from where the buildings were, but maybe if you look down through there, you can see here's a stone wall right here. Here's where I came in. I finally crawled out of the driveway and got up here on the ridge line so I could follow that in. I figured that would give me a little bit easier hiking, although it's hard through here too. There's so many prickly bushes. So I don't know, let me get inside the fence. This looks like a corner right here. I'll mark it on my GPS and then we'll head in and see. It is tremendously overgrown here. Let's see if I can push through any further. .3 miles into my hike, I'm up to 1,000 feet, and I've been following this fence. I mean, it's a long ways. Look at this. That's where it came from, up this way. And I don't know. This looks like maybe once upon a time might have been an entrance. Look at that. Look at a big hole in the first hole I found in the wall. And then it just continues on. I don't know for how far, but so I got a funny feeling this was probably one of a number of entrances up to the house. It's really overgrown up there. I might bushwhack my way up to the top of the hill there to see if maybe something's left. But that's definitely where it was. There's looking at some of the nearby peaks. I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at right now, except I know I'm inside the park. And this is obviously where the plantation was. I read somewhere that they had like 500 acres worth of vineyards up here. Just vineyards, 500 acres. So, it's a big place. Before the Civil War. 1.6 miles into my hike, I'm still a little 1,000 feet. So if you subtract 1.6 minus whatever my last call out was, that's how much distance I've spent just trying to whack my way through some of this stuff. I haven't seen any evidence of any structures at all, except for this big wall. I'm standing on the wall again. That's looking to the north, so I'm going to start hiking back this way. I've got a lot of hiking to do just to get down off this mountain. So anyway, this is where it was, but I don't see any evidence of any of the buildings. Those students from James Madison University, they must have had some guides or some help from the Park Service with coordinates and things, versus me just wandering around up here. bushwhacking my way down the mountain. I decided it might be easier to just avoid that last tenth of a mile of the driveway. It's just crazy. There's where I came from, up that way. The house was over that way somewhere. I know it doesn't look like it, but I'm back down onto the road. Looks like somebody marked their way with that surveying tape. It's faded from orange to white. Okay, I'm back down to the Dickey Ridge Trail. There, down that way, is the crossing with the wooden footbridge. And you come up here and you'll see the trail narrow just a little teeny bit, and see those rocks right there covered with moss left and right. And then if you look to the right up in there, you'll see a big rock. That rock right there, that rock is blocking the road. So that's your landmark right there. Near the bottom of the road, some more stone fencing. There isn't a whole lot left of it though. Then it heads off in this direction, continuing to follow the stream. And the Park Service turned it this way, and this takes you up to Skyline Drive. This is a map of today's hike. The quadrangle name is Front Royal 1994, and I hiked the Dickey Ridge trail up to a certain point, and then I branched off looking for the ruins of the Old Belmont Vineyard. Front Royal is up here, and right here is the park entrance. And this is Skyline Drive. So when you come into the park, you just go in about a tenth of a mile, and you'll see a couple of pullover areas, paved pullover areas here. Pull over here and look for the Dickey Ridge signpost or trailhead, and get on the Dickey Ridge Trail. This is the Dickey Ridge Trail coming down through here, like this. And if you follow this far enough, like about 5 miles or so up the side of the mountain, you'll end up at the Dickey Ridge Visitor Center. But anyway, you follow this about approximately a half a mile until, as soon as it crosses over the creek, then you start looking over here to the right for the remains of an old road that goes up the side of the mountain like this. So I found that, and really starting from here and going all the way up to where the plantation and the vineyard used to be up in this area. This whole area in through here is extremely difficult hiking. It's very, very overgrown, lots of blown down trees and underbrush, prickly bushes, all sorts of thorny things in your way. So anyway, I bushwhacked my way up into this area, and the only actual evidence I found was a pretty long section of a stone wall right about in here somewhere. Ordinarily, I would have walked all the way around the perimeter of the wall to see what the extent was up here, but it's so extremely overgrown that I decided not to do that. When you look at my GPS track, you'll see that I wandered around some looking for any old buildings or anything. Didn't find anything. So then I just came on back down the old road. This was fairly short, but it was tough goings. 2.8 miles, so less than 3 miles. It took me 3 hours and 2 minutes to hike less than 3 miles. The total ascent was only 486 feet. So this is not really family friendly hiking, but if you enjoy bushwhacking, the Old Belmont plantation was up in this area right here. And that was a hike for today.